without further ado, we have from the Oregon area. I don't know where he's at today. He might be at home. He might be on the road. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give a warm welcome to Regional Vice President, Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
Good to see you guys on a Friday. I got to get used to this Friday thing. I've been dialed in for 6 years on Thursdays every other month, but I was ready today. In fact, I sent my team a text at 8:30 this morning, and definitely fired up to spend a few minutes with you guys. So first, let me start where I always start, and that is just some appreciation to Mr. T and him doing this call, which he doesn't have to do because so many of you are on his team, but so many of you are not on his team, meaning in his downline. He financially does not benefit at all from what happens in your business. But in actuality, he does because he's the author of creating this environment. But you're not in his business, but that doesn't make a difference. We want everybody to win, going through the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows. And it's part of what I'm actually going to talk to you guys about today. So I told Mr. T I was trying to get a video that I'm going to show you guys that I think is really good. It's about 1.5 minutes long, and I'm going to show it to you at the end. But I'm going to talk about a few things ahead of time. So as promised from last week, I'm ready to roll. So first things first, as we are getting closer to the end of the year, right? So I want you guys to think about this for a second. Doesn't it feel like it was just a minute ago and it was the holidays, it was Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, and somehow we're already back there again. And here's why I bring this up is, we human beings, right? It's in our nature to plan. But for a lot of people, it's not in our nature to execute, right? So we can get things down on paper, right? Like I have right here, right? We can get things down on paper, but the question is, does it go from the playbook to the field? Does it go from your notes to your behavior? And that's a really important question. And I think it's something that warrants addressing. And here's why. There are tons of people with tons of great ideas out there, right? Ideas on, it could be anything, right? It could be a business idea. It could be a social idea. It could be just tons and tons of ideas, notes written down. But if what you've written down doesn't make its way onto the field, I think it's pointless. And here's what I mean by that. Actually, let me backtrack. I don't want to say it's pointless because you have to start there. But if you leave it there, put it this way, if you pack a bag and you're going on a trip and you leave your bag at the airport and you are gone, you've left what you prepared away from you. And you want to bring what you've here you go, you guys. Here's the message. You want to bring what you've prepared with you. You want to bring what you have prepared with you. So what do I mean by that? I don't even have that phrase in my notes, but this is how it now makes perfect sense to me, right? Self-coaching. If you leave what you've prepared at home, if you leave what you've prepared in your notes, if you leave, whether that's on paper notes or it's on the notes on your computer, if you leave what you've prepared at home, in your briefcase, on your laptop, on your iPad, on your notepad, and you do not bring it with you, what purpose did it serve? What purpose did it serve? And this is a very important question, you guys, because there's a lot of really, really, really well-trained. They are trained. Man, they don't miss a call. They don't miss a Zoom. They don't miss an AI training. They don't miss a thing, but their business hasn't built. So how is that possible? How is it possible that someone could be in that position? And it's very simple to me. It's crystal clear. They left their information at home. They never applied it. So when you hear leaders come on this call, I can almost tell you, and Mr. T, you can jump in at any time because I think this is crazy important. You can have all the leaders in the world come on this call every day at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 Mountain, 11 Central, 12 noon, and teach and train you and give you insight and share from their experiences, their wins, their losses. They're all super important. You can have them do that all day long. But if it doesn't leave this Zoom and get applied to your address, in your zip code, in your life, in your trip to the grocery store, in your time at the gym, at the mall, if it doesn't apply to you and you don't apply it, I don't know what good it serves. Mr. T, you mind? Can you unmute for 1 second? Because I just want to do something with you
Yes,
here.
sir. Go ahead.
Okay, look, you guys, Al Thomas has a ton of leaders on his team, but I also know that he would tell them what I'm telling you. You can have all the information in the world. So Al, you have as much, if not more, information about this industry, behavior, and all that stuff than anyone on this call, including me. What would you say to someone that has all this information, that has all this knowledge, that has pages and pages of notes, but their business hasn't advanced? What would your first piece of advice to them be?
Get off your assets. Get off your assets and apply the knowledge.
Right. So you guys, so a person who has one of the biggest businesses in the history of our company, if not the industry, says, get off your assets, right? Go out and do something, right? So the people on my team have heard this. And I've said this for years. Unapplied knowledge is useless. Like, what's the use of it? So you know it? Well, that's great. But if you don't know how to apply it, or let me actually step back. Unapplied knowledge is useless, meaning you have the information and you know how to apply it and you don't. See, here's what it comes down to, you guys. That's a choice. That is it's absolutely a choice. I would rather have someone go out and not do it perfectly, but do it, than someone who refines it and refines it and refines it and gets it perfectly and never leaves their desk. I would rather have the person go out and get it wrong. I would rather have the person go out and mess it up, because we can fix that. See, I can't fix, help, change inactivity. Inactivity is like, it's like unplugging a light from the socket. It's like there's no chance to build anything in any industry without activity. I'm in construction. Hey, that's great. What are you working on right now? Well, I haven't really dug anything in a minute. Haven't really. Well, okay. So you're planning on it, but construction is building, and that applies to what it is that we're doing. So I want to talk about construction now for a second. Okay. So I want you guys to think about this. When something is getting built, right? A barn, a lot of barns up here, a barn, a house, a building, a strip mall, a big mall, anything is getting built, a car, you build, right? It takes a whole bunch of pieces together to make whatever that final outcome is going to be. Now, here's what's great. There's a blueprint, there's a plan. That's our comp plan. Your blueprint is the comp plan. So do you really know the comp plan? Do you know the blueprint? whatever position you're at, if I asked every one of you right now, how far away are you? What is the gap that needs to be filled to get you from the current position that you're in to the next position that you want to achieve? Now, if you don't want to achieve it or it's not a big deal for you, then don't sweat it. But if you know what it is, the comp plan will explain to you, show you, and tell you where to focus your time, effort, energy, and your efforts. Right? Okay, you're a regional coordinator. You have a couple hundred points. You have maybe two teams, maybe probably three teams, and you have a good amount of personal points. So let's say you're a regional coordinator. You have 75 personal customer points. You have three teams. Two out of the three teams have some people in it, and that means you have about 130 points in your team because now you are a regional coordinator. What does your blueprint look like? What do you need to do? Where do you need to build? What plans do you need to draft? Well, I would tell you the very first thing is you need to draft plans for two new teams. Because what I just said to you is one team really isn't building. There's some activity in two teams, but you want to go through regional director and set yourself up for regional vice president. Well, you know as well as I do, it takes 600 customer points to become a regional director. And you guys, the comp plan at regional director is genius. The comp plan at regional director is significant. The change that happens at regional director, that's why all of the senior vice presidents, and regional directors all compete at the regional director level because it is open business, right? So let's go back to construction. So you've got your plan. Here goes. You guys, for those of you who've been on here with me for a long time, these every other month for however long we've been doing this, everything is going to come full circle by the end. So here goes, right? So now you have your plan. You worked with your coach. You have an idea on what to do. You have a game plan set up on what to do. You even did something that most people don't do. You put a time frame on when you want this to occur. Does this conversation sound familiar to anybody? I know there's only a handful of people with their cameras on right now. Okay, cool. So you guys check this out. If that is in fact the case, we have the opportunity, we understand the comp plan, we have the game plan, the roadmap, and the blueprint to get this done. Why don't more people get this done? Why? Someone put in the chat. Someone put in the chat why you have the opportunity, you have the comp plan, you have the coach, you have the mentor, you have the blueprint, you have the game plan. Why don't more people get this done? Rick Kubiak said no drive. Ray Caldwell said fear. Okay? Don't apply. Lack, fear of momentum. Right? What else, you guys? What other reasons? You have the comp plan, you have the coach, you have the mentor, you have the blueprint, you have the game plan, you have everything set up. Why don't there it is. Distracted, lazy, procrastination, Mr. Peon, correct. You guys, so here's what Al cannot do for you. Distraction, lack of focus, Daryl Welch. Absolutely. Here's what Al and I and the leaders cannot do for you. We can't make you say, you know what? It is new team time. It is phase one time. It is I'm going ETL all over again time. It's who is going to be my next story time. You guys, I have people on the team that have been bringing up names that they've been bringing up for over 18 months. Now, look, I'm okay with that because, people's circumstances change. But if those are the only names we're talking about, what would that tell you as a coach? What would that tell you as a leader? We're hanging on the same names of people. We're not meeting any new people. We're not sharing this business with any new people. We're not piquing any new people. We're not showing the business to any new people. We're not creating any new contacts. You guys, that's crazy. That is a recipe for your business to dissolve, in my opinion. Now, how do you fix that? Super simple. When you have new people in the pipeline, you have new conversations. How many of you have heard me say, spend 1 minute with 100 people, not 100 minutes with one person? Get into the law of large numbers. That's going to give you the very best chance to find that next person. So how does this relate to this whole idea of constructing your business? If you don't do what I just mentioned, you are scrambling to stay above water. You're scrambling every month. You're trying to squeeze everything you can out of this existing group that you have. How about this as an idea? If we know that leaders lead by example, and the very first thing that all of us should do is do the things that we want our team to do, and you're out there building a new team right in front of them. You're starting a new group right in front of them. You have a new story right in front of them. You created new promotions right in front of them. There's two very important things that happen when you do that as a leader, when you are constructing your business properly. When you do that, number one, you're showing people that you're a player coach. You're doing what you're teaching. And that creates credibility in you. The second thing is this. You need to take care of your business. You need to take care of your production. You need to take care of your, look, I have to do the exact same thing. And understand something. We have steps forward, we have steps back. And by the way, so does Al. So do I. So do all the leaders here. The difference is, do those steps forward and steps back alter your activity? And I'm telling you, for the leaders, it does not. We simply understand that that is part and parcel. That is part of what happens in this business. You're going to have people join and people not join. You're going to have people be your customer and not be your customer. But the construction of your business must continue if you are committed to what you said you were going to do. But what's easy to say sometimes is not easy to do. And that's awesome, because what it does is it shows you with whom to spend your time with. It doesn't mean we won't help everyone if we can, but it will let you know where and with whom to spend your quality business building time. I will help everyone that I can, but I'm letting you know, if I have 2 phone calls coming in, and one phone call might be coming from someone who, when I see their name, I am smiling. I know they got something positive. Or if they have a challenge, that they're going to come with a solution. I know that they're that person that wants to go out and build, that they want to be coached. And then at the exact same time, I have a call come in from that person who's that whiny, hiney, thumb sucking, complaining person. Well, listen, I'm letting you know which call I'm taking first. Right? And you shouldn't have to guess. So what does that say? That says we're building a team that's constructing our business. Are you the person you would want to hear from? Are you the person performing and producing the way you want people to perform and produce? So you guys, if your business isn't where you want, if there's a gap, and there is for me too, by the way, if there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, and I'm sure the same exists for Al, right? If there's a place from where you are to where you want to be, the number one factor in closing that gap and getting to that next spot that you want to get, the number one factor is you. That's it. The number one factor is you. And I want you guys to know something. And I have this video I want to show you guys that speaks to exactly what it is that I'm talking about here, what I had prepared for you today. So we know, right, that there's, how do I say this? There's the game within the game, okay? There are the individual conversations, the customer conversations, the phase 1 conversations, the presentations. Who besides me has ever scheduled a presentation, you went to it and the person didn't show? Ever happen? How about this? Anybody ever have a conversation with someone and they say they're going to jump on a Zoom and you're on the Zoom by yourself? That ever happen to anyone? Okay, cool. Anybody ever come across someone that said I'm going to be your customer, and then they never end up being your customer because they want more literature, more information. They check with their family, they check with everybody. Anybody have those conversations? Why in the heck are you still on this call? Because you obviously see that there's something more than those obstacles. And when your vision is big enough and your goal is significant enough, those obstacles become little tiny things along the way in the game of the business that you are playing, which is, can I move through the compensation plan? And do I know that my ability to do that rests on how many people I can get in front of the information and how many people can I help achieve what they want? Whether I'm helping them by myself or I'm helping them with the mentorship, the assistance, and the coaching of my leader, plugging them into our system. And if you guys can answer that, all of a sudden this game of the little wins and losses, the little ups and downs, it starts to get into perspective. And that's very much how ACN works. So I want to show you guys this video. So let me make sure that I can, and it goes to what I was just talking about. And this, I knew that I was going to share this with you guys actually before, but you all know what happened last week. So I'm not going to get into that again. Okay, so let me make sure that, okay, let me make sure that I'm going to bring this up. Actually, let me mute myself just in case, because I don't want you guys to miss anything. So let me just, Mr. T, hang on one second. I'm bringing this up. Okay, here goes. So, do any of you guys know tennis? Anybody know tennis at all? Like maybe some of the names, some of the players, whatever. You don't have to. Just know that for a very long time, there's been three really super, super, super dominant tennis players in the world. Novak Djokovic, um, uh, uh, and a dude from Spain who just retired, Roger Federer, who you're going to hear from, and Rafael Nadal. Those are the three biggies. Those are the three big guys for the longest time, for a decade and a half. Those three: Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and Roger Federer. So Roger Federer is speaking at a commencement. And I really want you guys, if you're driving, please pay attention. Your camera's off, please pay attention. Because this literally, he's one of the greatest of all time. And here's what he said. Well, I'm just going to
Perfection is impossible. In the 1,526 singles matches I played in my career, I won almost 80% of those matches. Now, I have a question for you. What percentage of points do you think I won in those matches? Only 54%. In other words, even top-ranked tennis players win barely more than half of the points they play. When you lose every second point on average, you learn not to dwell on every shot. You teach yourself to think, okay, I double faulted, it's only a point. Okay, I came to the net and I got passed again, it's only a point. Even a great shot, an overhead backhand smash that ends up on ESPN's top 10 playlist, that too is just a point. So here's why I'm telling you this. When you're playing a point, it has to be the most important thing in the world, and it is. But when it's behind you, it's behind you. This mindset is really crucial because it frees you to fully commit to the next point and the next point after that, with intensity, clarity, and focus.
So you guys, I'm going to play it like I do with these videos. I want to play it one more time. So look at the first words that he says. Perfection is impossible. That's the thing that we missed the first time around. But I really want you to hear this. Because what did I talk to you guys about earlier? The game within the game. There's going to be peaks. There's going to be presentations, right? And to hear what he said, he won. You guys, this is so critical. He won 80% of his matches. 80%. But he only won 54% of the points. I hope this hits someone today because that is our business. So here goes.
Perfection is impossible. In the 1,526 singles matches I played in my career, I won almost 80% of those matches. Now, I have a question for you. What percentage of points do you think I won in those matches? Only 54%. In other words, even top-ranked tennis players win barely more than half of the points they play. When you lose every second point on average, you learn not to dwell on every shot. You teach yourself to think, okay, I double faulted, it's only a point. Okay, I came to the net and I got passed again, it's only a point. Even a great shot, an overhead backhand smash that ends up on ESPN's top 10 playlist, that too is just a point. So here's why I'm telling you this. When you're playing a point, it has to be the most important thing in the world, and it is. But when it's behind you, it's behind you. This mindset is really crucial because it frees you to fully commit to the next point and the next point after that with intensity, clarity, and focus.
He said, it frees you to commit to the next thing. So do it. Do it with everything you've got. Do it as best as you can. But when it is done, it is done. Move forward. Now, that does not mean you don't circle back around to follow up with people. So that is not what I'm saying, and that's not what he's saying. He's saying that when you do this, do it. Don't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. 1 foot in the pool, 1 foot out. Right? Like I get texts and calls sometimes from my team. I'm ready to roll now. Let's do this now. You know, I'm back in action now. And that's happened to me in almost every team that I have. Great, but if we're going to do it, let's do it. Let's be in communication. Let's commit to what the goal is in front of us. But if it doesn't go the way we want, right? Don't let it linger. Move on to the next point, right? You guys, it's crazy to me when I saw this. Roger Federer himself, arguably one of the top, well, for sure, top 5 of all time. And he said he won 80% of his matches, but only 54% of the points. Are you willing to go through the ups and downs, the highs and lows that are inevitable in anything that we want to achieve that's great? From you, maybe it's a regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, senior vice president. Are you willing to lose 46% of the points to win 80% of the matches? And that comes down to you. So, Mr. T, I saw this. I couldn't wait to share this because to me, it says everything about what it is that we do and what we go through in this. And it just, those numbers blew me away when I saw that. And I think it absolutely applies to everything that we do here. So anyway, that's what was on my mind. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. Listen, you guys, I'm gonna be getting people information about Tahoe. Tahoe's coming up in a month. The first week of November, and it is going to be awesome, you guys. Tony Kupas, myself, Mike Basutti, going to try to beg and plead Mr. T. It's going to be a great training, you guys. But that's what I wanted to share with you. Can you get to the next point? Right? Here's one. I know Mr. Thomas does calls all throughout the week. That would be a great next thing to build into, right? For those of you who know that I do trainings or presentations, our team throughout the week, that would be a great next thing to build into, right? So that's what I want to share, Mr. T. I'll turn it back over to you.